Hey there and welcome back to my channel, and this week's video is a missing persons case and it's on baby Kwahlelwa Tiwane, and he's been missing since January of this year. So this case is very recent and this case is very frustrating because somebody needs to tell the truth on what happened that day so that we can be able to find out what really happened to the baby and so that he can be brought home eventually. Baby Kwahlelwa was born in November 2019 and he's actually a twin. He has a twin brother and the twins were born to Asanda Tiwane and Siyanda, and they have another 2-year-old son. So the twins have an older brother who is 2 years old, and the couple lived in Kwahlelwa, Cape Town, and they nicknamed Kwahlelwa Hlelo, so I'm going to be referring to him as baby Hlelo for the rest of the video. Before I begin, I want to put a disclaimer that the following is Asanda Tiwane's version of events, so this is what happened according to baby Hlelo's mother. So the case really begins in January 15 this year when a social worker named Monica was going around Kwahlelwa and she was offering people food vouchers and food parcels, and she ended up in the Tiwane house, and then she was met with Asanda and Asanda welcomed her, and Monica told Asanda that she wanted to give her a food voucher and a food parcel, and she also offered baby Hlelo's father Siyanda a job at her office in Paro. Monica then asked for the twins' birth certificates. I don't know why she needed them, but she asked for the twins' birth certificates, and Asanda says that she gave Monica the birth certificates, and she proceeded to tell Asanda that she didn't have the food vouchers with her, so she would come back tomorrow to fetch Asanda and the twins, and they'll go to her office in Paro to go get the food vouchers and the food parcel. So the next day, January 16th at around 2 p.m, and I want you guys to remember the 2 p.m. because it becomes very important later on. So the next day at around 2 p.m, Monica comes to Kwahlelwa to fetch Asanda and the twins, and Asanda says that she was holding one twin and Monica was holding the other twin, baby Hlelo. So they get into a taxi and they take a taxi from Kwahlelwa to Paro, and when they get to Paro they get off the taxi, and then Monica tells Asanda to go buy food and they'll meet at the post office in like 2 minutes. So Asanda, trusting Monica, goes to buy the food, and when she comes back, Monica and baby Hlelo are nowhere to be seen. So Asanda starts panicking and she catches another taxi back to Kwahlelwa to go to the police station to report the baby missing. So since it was a missing baby, police really took action very fast, and they went to the houses that Monica had been going around the previous day, and they were able to get her number, and from her WhatsApp profile picture they were able to check her down on Facebook. And when they checked her down, and as you can imagine, they found out that her name really wasn't Monica, but her name was actually Karabo, and she was 18 years old and she was still in high school. Police move quickly. They arrest Karabo. Karabo confesses that she did kidnap the baby, and she says that she actually sold the baby to foreign nationals. And on the 23rd of January, a second suspect named Eli Kibundu was arrested in connection to the kidnapping. The police really moved quickly, and Karabo appears in court for the first time on the 6th of February, and this time baby Hlelo is still missing. So when she appears in court, the question on everyone's mind is, where is baby Hlelo? So when Karabo appears in court, she's now saying that she's innocent despite the fact that she gave that confession. And Karabo's lawyer reveals a big revelation. She tells the court that on the 16th of January, exactly at 2 p.m, Karabo was actually at her Xhosa class, and her teacher confirmed that at 2 p.m. on the 16th of January, Karabo was sitting in the front row of her Xhosa class. They also called up the school's IT manager, and the manager provided this CCTV footage. And in the CCTV footage, Karabo can be seen on the bottom right corner with the white jacket and she's talking to a friend, and they're talking about the new features of an iPhone, and this was at 3:30. So now there's this huge twist in the case, because on the 16th of January, exactly at 2 p.m, Karabo was in class and she was seen by her teacher and some classmates, and she can be placed on the CCTV footage being at school. So now there's this huge twist, but there's still the issue of the confession. So now I'm going to tell you guys Karabo's version on what happened that day. Is that on the 16th of January, she woke up, she went to school. It was the second day of the school year, so she went to school, attended her classes, and then police arrested her and they took her to the police station. And she says that at the police station, 4 detectives took turns interrogating her continuously, and she was scared. She didn't know what is happening. She didn't have a lawyer. So the police told her that there was actually a syndicate of men that were kidnapping babies in Cape Town, and if she confessed that she kidnapped the baby and she gave the baby to these men, she would actually get bail and be able to walk away free from this. And that's why she confessed to having kidnapped the baby. So this led to police going through her phone, and when they went through her phone, they found 2 numbers of foreign nationals, and one of the numbers belonged to Eli Kibundu. In the time that Karabo is in court, Eli Kibundu is also in court, and Eli is 22 years old and he's originally from the DRC, but he moved to South Africa when he was 6 years old, so he pretty much grew up here. Eli says that on the 23rd of January, he was sleeping at his mother's house in Paro, and then he was awakened by police officials, and they said that they had questions for him. So when he got outside, there were about 10 police vans waiting for him, and that's pretty much when he knew he was in trouble. So he says when he got to the police station, he was tortured into giving a confession. Police took a black plastic bag and put it over his head and suffocated him. So he says that he was pretty much tortured into giving a confession. Both Eli and Karabo stated that they were not a couple, they didn't know each other, they had met over Facebook, and they'd only met once in November 2019, and they hadn't seen each other ever since. Charges against Eli were later dropped because there really wasn't enough evidence to link him to the crime. Back to Karabo. Karabo is still in court and baby Hlelo is still missing, and Karabo's lawyer did provide some insight that it was actually impossible for Karabo to say somehow disappear after her Xhosa class, go to Kwahlelwa, fetch Asanda and the twins, go to Paro, kidnap the twin and give it to somebody else, and come back to class to be seen in the CCTV footage. And it was quite impossible given time and waiting for taxis and traveling, and it was quite impossible. And it was also revealed in court that Asanda Tiwane, baby Hlelo's mom, didn't have an ID, so the twins' birth wasn't registered. But she reported to police that when Monica or Karabo came to visit her, she had asked for birth certificates and she'd given her the twins' birth certificates. So the magistrates, taking all of this in account, awarded Karabo 2,000 rands bail, and she was released. And when she got released on bail, there were actually clashes between protesters outside, between those that believed Karabo and those that believed Asanda. And on the 10th of July, all charges against Karabo were officially dropped. And till this day, baby Hlelo is still missing, and Asanda is still maintaining that Karabo Dao is the person that took baby Hlelo. At the end of the video, I like to give some insights on what I think of the case. And at the end of the case, I'm conflicted because it's either you believe Karabo or you believe Asanda. And with Karabo's case, the evidence that she was in class at 2 p.m. is very convincing, but you can also argue that maybe Asanda got the dates wrong, And if she did get the dates wrong, then you can argue that Karabo did kidnap the babies, because she was seen in Khayelitsha pretending to be a social worker. Why was she pretending to be a social worker? And that was never answered. I did see a Free Karabo campaign. It was actually started by her friends in a high school. They believe that she's innocent because they say they saw her that day in class. So there's also that, but at the end of the day and at the heart of this case, there's still a missing baby. Do let me know what you think happened, if you have any opinions, or even if you wanna fact check me if I got anything wrong. Please do feel free to comment below, and thank you so much.